Okay. Okay, hey everyone, I'm now back from vacation, and so for the next couple of weeks I want to try building a really simple self-contained puzzle game just based on Sudoku. I typically find like the 9x9 Sudokus extremely tedious, they just take way too long. And so I instead just want to make a really short puzzle game that takes perhaps between 10 minutes or an hour to finish, that just contains 4x4 Sudoku games instead. Similar to the last project, I'm going to be doing everything from scratch in Zig using Raylib, using the Raylib library, and yeah, everything will be done on stream and posted to YouTube as usual. And like always, all of the code will be on my GitHub. So yeah, all of the code from the last project on here, and I'll post the final product to itch.io as usual. Okay, so then let's get started. So since Zig can compile native C code, I can just go and get the latest version of Raylib. Okay, I want to... I don't want to do like just a git pull though, because I want to create my own repository and delete a bunch of stuff. But I guess... how do I download it from here? I just want the zip file. It's so weird. Usually like the release section always contains something. We'll just do the extremely crude, pulling this as a GIF and as git and then copying it manually. Come on. Okay. Copy this version. It would be nice if there's just a way to download this. So what's this called? Raylib 5. Raylib 5. Git clone here. Like, while this is doing it, there should be some way to download this as a zip, right? Like the releases section for Zig has, is it Zig-lang or Zig-lang? When you click on releases, it takes you to just zips you can download. Why doesn't Raylib have something similar? This is confusing. This is like super easy for everyone to use. Where's the zip file? Okay, I suppose they're down here. Would be nice if these were at the top. Whatever. This way we can just have a single version and update it as necessary. Okay, but now we want to go backwards in time to this version. Okay, that's been updated, so now we can copy this. Let's just copy this the crude way. because we don't want all of this. We just want the source, and I think that's it. We should move the appropriate files as well over. We need build.zig. Probably want the change log, just so people know. History, yes. The license, the readme. Okay, that will be enough. And then we'll make note that, let's start our main function. We'll just take note of the commit that we used, which was just version 5. Okay. This project uses raylib. Okay, I could type all of this out again, or I could just copy what we wrote in the previous project, and I am a favor of doing that. What? Okay, so this we have to do this one of 4x4 Sudoku name. Who knows how long this will take? Hopefully just a month. We are still using the zig compiler 10. Who knows what this is? That's fine. We're not going to be using any photos in this particular project. It's redundant. Okay, this project includes a copy of raylib, specifically raylib release. Version 5.0, which is commit number, this thing. Yeah, great. Okay. Now I've got that in. Actually, we'll keep that for scratch. We now just want to draw a window. So I think likewise we can copy the main yeah, we'll just copy our code from last time and make a modified version of it. So if we go to the other main, so weird. We need we're gonna need to copy a few files. We're gonna need the build.zig file from the butterfly one. Okay, let's do that. I just split the screen in a couple ways. No. This will be. We'll do this. This will be our build.zig file. This will be the old build.zig file. So we want this one to be butterfly quiz build.zig. Okay, let's just copy all of that. Build.zig. This is the current raylib stuff. We're going to need to move all of this into a folder. Okay. Call this raylib 5. And yeah, we want to move that to it, all of this to it. back here. Yeah, it no longer exists, which is good. That's what we want. Come on. Emacs. It no longer exists, so I want you to create a file here. Yeah. We'll just override it. Copy. Paste. Okay, so this new folder is now called raylib5.zig. And I think everything else, almost everything else should be the same. So let's call this 4x4 Sudoku. That all looks the same. Let's say run the game. Since I'm still using this as an exercise to load Zig, I don't understand all of this build stuff just yet. We'll get to that in a later project, maybe even this project. Okay, and then for this one here, we now want to start copying some code that just draws a window. So let's go back to our older project where we did that. Let's go to the main function. This stuff is fine. Okay, once we copy the render stuff, the render function, we should be good to go. Okay, at least almost. We're gonna want to. In this project, I'm gonna be drawing a lot of rectangles, and again, I want to draw them by the center. Like I want to position the center of a rectangle and have it drawn there instead of working out the coordinates. So we can copy the rectangle code I did for that last time. I think it was called draw. Was it not draw text? Oh, was it draw rect? No. Draw centered rect. This is the thing. If I have comments, I should be copying them too. Okay. We should be good to go. But let's massively cull all of this and simplify it. No need for RNGs in this project yet, but we will want them at some stage. Likewise, the timer though we won't need. We do want this. We're gonna have to set up some constants. So let's say the initial screen width is 1080. I mean 920. Let's make the initial screen height 1080, and let's make the window title. Should we call this 4x4 Sudoku game. Okay. Where we won't be using in this project, I don't want to use the TTF fonts. I kind of want to use bitmap fonts. But I'll just comment this stuff out. We can get rid of all of that. We're certainly not doing any. We're going to be doing a different type of text processing, but not that kind of processing. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. All of this shuffling list stuff we can get rid of. This looks somewhat fine. Don't need that, don't need that. We're not yet doing any button geometry. We'll add these in as the project progresses. Process input update state. We are going to be doing that at some stage, but not initially. Background color, let's set that. Constants. So we want this to be arraylib.color, and from memory there was something really tedious about setting arraylib colors, and we needed to I needed to write some question to load these at runtime. Yeah, it was this thing here. I mean, load them at compile time. So, okay, we want to do RLC and some color. Okay. So let's copy those. Okay, and then we can say background color here is, we'll just make the background color black to begin with. And yeah, and then get rid of all of that, all of that too. Yeah, basically all of that. Oh, but okay, we do want to draw at least one non-trivial thing. So why don't we draw a centered rect? At half of the screen width, at the center. And let's make this 200 by 200 pixels. And if the background is black, we'll just make this white. Okay, there's going to be some compile errors, almost certainly, but we'll figure out. Okay, let's do build run. We'll figure this stuff out. Okay, unable to load source build.zig, file not found. That kind of makes sense. We need to actually move the source into arraylib to build it. Okay, oh good. We are getting a compile error that's not to do with arraylib, which is positive. Line 33. I guess all of these should be consts. Macro time. Okay. Yusuf undeclared identifier RL. Right, we need to actually import these things. That is I need these lines. Use of undeclared identifier vec2. Where did we declare that in this line? Use of undeclared identifier screen width. Oh, I guess these should be globals. That's good. Okay, so we want these to be just variables, and we'll make them undefined to begin with. Okay, I spoke too soon about not getting the raylib errors. Why is this appearing now? Raylib.h file not found. Is this not within the source? It's here. C input failed. Maybe this is to do with the build file. And the one that's actually in our app. But I thought we really wouldn't have to adjust much of this. Oh, unless it's looking for the build file within the source itself. Yeah, because it doesn't. Yeah, it's not. Oh, but it kind of is here. Wait, what? Okay, how are we going to figure out what to do now? Page file not found. It's here. Could this possibly have to do with me adjusting some of the names of these things? Or maybe it's this one here. Okay, back to non-package stuff. Oh yeah, we should really say what these are. So we want both of these to be 32-bit floats. Hurrah, and it's working. Great. Okay, now we can get on with actually programming the game. But before that, we should really set up a project and save this and do all of this stuff. Okay, so let's create a git ignore file. We don't need to do that, yeah. Let's init something here. Now let's adjust the git ignore file. So ignore all of the Emacs artifacts. Okay, we also want to ignore a lot of we want to ignore everything in Zcache. Zcache. I feel like this happened last time, and it was something really silly. Let's just copy the git ignore from the previous project. Okay, better. And I think this is all that we need. Yeah, this looks like it. Yeah, initialize project with simple square render. Okay. Let's create space for this on GitHub. We already have another GitHub window open. Okay, where's my repositories? So new. Let's call this four by. I should keep naming consistent. I want to call it 4x4 Sudoku. I guess technically then I should go back. Okay, this is fine. The convention now is instead of underscores, it will be the tabs. While this is immediately on my mind. We'll just have to change the... Okay. We will fix this error as it comes up. We should give this a description. Yeah, a simple collection of it's really a small game, right? A small puzzle game featuring a selection of 4x4. Should it be space between them? 4x4 Sudoku puzzles. Yeah, we want this to be public, and everything else will just push to this. So we should really call this 4x4 Sudoku game. Okay, create this. Where's the push stuff? Oh, yeah. So now we want to do git remote add GitHub. We'll just call it GitHub. GitHub storage. This one. Okay, and then we want to do git push u GitHub origin. Hang on. What are all of the branches we have? It is main. Git push u to track GitHub storage main. Okay, that should now be here. Great. Okay. we can now forget about this and get on with programming. Okay, so just to begin with, I think it will be good to write a simple render function that takes a grid. The state of this game will just be a 4x4 grid of numbers 0 to numbers 1 to 4, and just render that to the screen. So I feel like it would be good even just to have like an enum representing the types of things that can be in the squares. Like any given state of this puzzle is either going to be a fixed number that comes with the puzzle, or a blank, or an option that the player has filled in. So then that's really 9 options. Okay, so then let's just do this. Grid tile possibilities, and I figured how to declare enums in Zig, so we will look up the Zig documentation. We might do this a bit later. Documentation. How do the enums work? So we define them by just saying. So let's say. I think tile is okay at this stage. We just need these to be U8s, and okay. So you know, we kind of want the 1, 2, 3, and the 4, but we really want like a fixed 1, a fixed 2, a fixed 3, a fixed 4. There's also just empty, and then there's a player has penciled in a 1, 2, or 3, or 4. F means fixed. That means fixed tile. And what should we make the non-fixed tiles? Maybe like C for chosen. Yeah, why don't we make chosen 1, chosen 2, chosen 3, chosen 4. F and C means fixed chosen tile. Okay. So now we want to, next time or the time after, we will want to use a bitmap font to render these kind of things. For the moment, we'll just use some colors. So why don't we, for our render function, I might make it like a sub render function, even though, yeah. So let's say we want to do render grid, and this is something which is going to take in a grid, type grid, and we'll just render it. Let's specify what this grid type should be. So given that we have a tile, let's just make a type of grid be a fixed, a 4x4 array of tiles. So okay, so given this, we want to render all of these. So let's just first render like 4x4 rectangles of a single color with the given background. Okay, so it will be useful to immediately start defining some constants. So, well, let's make let's define light gray and dark gray. I can steal this off not steal, I can just use this. I can't really steal it if I wrote it. Use these values here. These ones did kind of come from a color scheme though. Whatever. We'll just do light gray. Why is insert on? Do light gray and dark gray. And then let's make the dark gray like 40 everywhere. And we can make light gray 200. Okay, and then we're gonna start to want to define some colors. Okay, so, and these will be constant throughout the app. We're not going to do any color selection. It's just, this is just a basic thing. So let's see. So we can call maybe grid fill color. This is something. And then we also need the grid, the bar color. Let's call it bar color unless I think of a better name. We kind of do want the background color as well. So actually, let's put that in here. Okay, let's change this a bit. Let's instead make the background color light gray. Let's make these bar colors black. And we'll make the interior fill color. Let's make the fill color light gray. And the background color dark gray. Okay. Okay, back to the render grid function. Should we render this grid? Should we provide a position argument at which to render this grid? I don't think so. I think we can just, this seems unnecessary. We're only going to be drawing one grid at any given time. Okay, so let's just now say that the grid you could do a grid width. So there's the decision here. If we want to resize this thing, we could first just specify what the overall width of this 4x4 grid is, and then figure out from that all of the smaller sizes of the boxes, all of the smaller widths of the bars. Alternatively, we could just decide, like, the question here is just how to, like, we need to make everything relative to something. What should that relative be? Should we make it relative to the width of the boxes inside this 4x4 grid? Should we make it relative to the entire grid itself? I feel like we'll want to tinker with both the width of these bars and the width of the squares. So I think if anything, both of those should be defined in relation to the overall, some overall constant that scales with the height. Okay, so why don't we say the grid, yeah, okay, so let's say the grid square length is going to be this constant. Let's make it 0.1 times the screen width of the height. Actually, given that it may very well be possible that this game is played in a non-landscape dimension, I think we'll just want to choose the minimum of whatever the height and width is. So why don't we say minimum screen dimension is equal to, how do we do minimums in Zig again? It's literally called min. Okay, wow. And it takes any type, great. And this is version 11, good. The minimum of the current screen width and the current screen height, but these are the globals. Okay. The screen width and the screen height. Now that we have that, we can now say the grid square length is going to be 0.1 times this minimum screen dimension, and we'll make the grid bar thickness equal like 0.01 times this thing. Okay, now we have those. We want to start drawing stuff. So is it easier to draw 16 squares or simply the number of bars? The number of squares you draw scales, squares, squarely, and well, the number of bars is just like 2n plus 1. So we'll draw the bars instead. So yeah, we'll draw one big square to represent the overall background, and then we'll just add in the individual bars. So then we can say the overall grid, the total grid length is going to equal the number of bars, which is 5, times this grid bar thickness, plus the number of squares in a row times that length. And this will just be the background. So then we want to say, okay, we're going to have to do some more calculations. But eventually when we come and draw everything, we then want to draw a centered rectangle at, let's put it at the center of the screen. So we can say grid position. The grid position is going to be a vector 2 here, which is the center of the screen. the width and the height, we want to just be the total grid length. And the color, we want this to be the grid fill color. Okay. Let's just check this is compiling and I didn't do anything silly. Zip build run. Okay, I did do something silly. 72. Yeah, I forgot that there. Okay, we've got more than one now. Use of undeclared identifier grids. Okay, all of these should be constants. Unused parameter, indeed. Haven't yet got around to it. Okay, I think that's kind of what we wanted. Except it's not, because I'm still drawing this default one here. What we want instead is render grid. Great, okay. Okay, more calculation time. What should we say here? We should say here, calculate, not determine, but set sizes of now we can just say draw grid bars. Okay, so let's see. So we will have to draw 5 vertical bars and then 5 horizontal bars. In order to make it clear this is the 4x4 Sudoku, we should actually vary like the thickness of the very center ones. We can add that on in another core. But let's just get the 4x4 grid going to begin with. Okay, since we're specifying all of these rectangles just with centers, we would need to know, we just need to find those 4 centers and then those 4 centers. I should say 5 and 5. We know the height, which is great. We know the thickness, which is great. And then we can simply start with the initial position and then add in an entire bar and a square to get the others. Okay, so we can say for I in this range, let's draw the horizontal ones first. We'll draw the vertical ones first. We then want to say we want to draw a centered rect at the grid position minus here, this is where we want the I times the grid. Okay, really I kind of want this varying from -2 to +2, which means I think this needs to be a 3 here. Negative, and this should be then a plus. Varying the grid, a square length plus the grid bar thickness 0. Then that's the position, and then we want to still specify what the width and the height is. The height is just going to be the total. Oh, hang on. Yeah, this is vertical grid bars, and we're specifying the width first. So the width is just the grid bar thickness, and the height is then the total grid. Yeah, the total grid length. Okay. And we actually want to be doing this stuff after we draw the background. Draw grid background. Okay. Let's see if oh, what's this? Use size. Oh, come on. Annoying. We'll just need to convert all of this appropriately then. So if we want I to go from -2 to 2, we just need to subtract 2 from here. Expected 4 arguments, found 3. What did we not specify? We didn't specify the color. And this was what? What did we call this? Grid bar color. We're gonna have to do a conversion. So what's happening? I'm surprised it's saying this part is in the error and not this kind of thing. I suppose the type here knows that it's already a vec2, so it probably does some implicit conversion, I think. Why does it think this total grid length is usize? What? Is this just like... Okay, it was a Windows thing. Okay, it wasn't doing the implicit type. This was the issue. Okay. So we want to do a... Is it like float from int? Float from... Or maybe just float cast? Convert from one float type to another. No, we want float from int. Hopefully this works. See here. Float from int. This is tedious. This is not fun. Maybe we just do something super crude where we convert the U type to an int and then this is there should be some better way of doing this. Can you specify in a for loop what the type of the integer should be? Because that would be easy. I can just say everything in this for loop treated as a float 32. I don't want to exactly look at the compiler to see how the compiler processes this just yet. let's just continue with conversion then. So maybe we want this one. This is we'll just do something really dumb, but it's better than just spending an hour figuring out the like exact SIG conversion stuff to use. So let's just say offset is going to be a I32, and it's going to be, was it int cast I at -2, and then I can now just put the offset in here. How ridiculous is this? It must have a known result type. The result type is an I32. Okay, use as to provide an explicit result type. Okay. As, what is this? So we just tell it the type, and then what it is. Okay, so maybe we can do this in cast by saying this is just equal to as an I32 -2. No, there's another error. Float from int must have a known result type. Come on. Come on. Let's just continue the crudeness. We can post in Discord or something afterwards how to best do this. Offset to as F30. This is so bad. But it's what it's going to be. Oh, but it won't like this, will it? How will this whinge? It doesn't know what offset is. Very, very fair. 173. Let's just back it up. Back this up. No, it's still confused. Float from int must have a known result type. Okay, so what if we said offset 2 is an F32, and this is equal to float from int offset 1. Is this going to be fine, or is it still going to want as somewhere? Expected type I32 found new size. That's the point, because I'm trying to convert it. Oh my goodness. Okay, what's this type coercion? When one type is provided, but one type is expected, but a different type is provided. I want to just break out the LLM. I'm sick of this. How do I convert a U size to a I32 in Z? Like this stuff is so painful when you're learning it in Zig. Like, I think like a couple months from now, this will just be obvious, but it's very far from obvious at the moment what's happening with this. Okay, so instead of as, we want int cast, even though the compiler message said use as, and we kind of want to specify here that it's an I32. Okay. I mean, this may not work. Expected one argument, found two. Okay. This is so tedious. This is so annoying. This is so annoying. Is this not a case where the compiler goes, this has type I32, so we'll do it. This has type I32, so we'll convert it. What's wrong? This is so obscene. This is so ridiculous. This is so utterly ridiculous. Okay, what if we said offset 1 is an I32 and is undefined at this point, and then we say offset 1 is equal to at incast. Let's just do the dumbest thing. Offset 1 minus 2. Like, it looks like there's going to be 10 lines of code to convert a single type. But whatever, okay, that's kind of what we wanted. This is so ridiculous. So is it really the case that if I added a minus 2 here, the compiler is too dumb to figure out what to do? How is this possible? Like, yeah, this is totally wild. It's totally ludicrous. Who cares how to spell it? Type massaging. What is the compiler? It's too dumb. Okay. Whatever. Okay, it's now basically working. So I'm annoyed by this like pixel offset that's appearing here. Okay, it's disappeared somewhat. Okay, I suppose the background that's drawn doesn't actually have to be the entirety of the border of everything. That would reduce this weird like edge case where some line of pixels gets drawn. let's do that and fix that. And then we'll just do the horizontal bars, and then we'll call it a night since it's already midnight. I'll call this outrageous, because it's more outrageous than ludicrous. Okay, so this grid background, instead of drawing the total grid length, we kind of want to do, we can subtract one of the, let's just make a new constant. Grid background length is equal to the total grid length minus one of the bars. And then we'll replace these with this grid background length. Okay. And then likewise for the vertical bars, let's just copy past this. Oh, actually, do we need to? Yeah, there'll be some sensible way of doing it, but this is the easy way. So now we just want to instead say that the vertical offset we're doing is a vertical one now. And we want to switch up the length. Like we want to transpose those two. Okay, that's good. This is a stopping point. Okay, maybe let's clean up in as much as we can the code for a bit. This is really pissing me off. This is so ridiculous. Like 4 lines just for a bloody type conversion. Like come on. This is so ridiculous. Anyway. Discord will know the answer. All of these like variable names I've used are like really long, but they are descriptive. Maybe these can be simplified. I can probably get rid of the grid from all of these since they're all local variables. Well, almost all of them are. So let's get rid of grid. So this should just be pause, square length, bar thickness, total length. We do need the grid fill color though. Replace, need that. Replace, need that. Okay. At least that's a bit easier to read. And okay, we'll go to, I'll like end the stream because I'm tired, and then I'll just push this on Discord and then come back to it later. Okay. Let's check it out. Begun to draw 4x4 grid. Okay. Yeah. Thanks everyone who stopped by on the stream. Yeah. As usual, I'll post these to. Oh wait, did we push this? Yeah, we did. We did push this into the cloud. Yeah. As usual, I'll post these in the usual places, and yeah, hopefully within 2 weeks, we will have a functional mini half an hour 4x4 Sudoku game. Okay. Bye.